Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, Keeping It Real with Shay. It's Shay here and it's Friday night, and you know what that means? It's live chat session. So I just wanted to recap a little bit about, the last few weeks. So of course I had my first live chat session about 2 weeks ago with Castonio Quartet. And so that was good. And I want to thank, of course, all the viewers that came and joined us that night and chat, for a chat. It was great. We hit about over almost 300 views that day, or that night. And it was great for Castonio Quartet, of course, because they were so excited. And of course, I was excited too, to just be able to have them on as my first guest for my live chat session. And then last week, I don't know if you guys watched my tandem, how I survived the tandem bike in Niagara on the lake. That was about a 57-minute video, which premiered last Friday. So what I typically want to do moving forward is every other week, I'm going to do a live chat session with a featured guest. And that way, we can chat live, and it's awesome to be able to chat with you guys. Like right now, I see wtih, Franco. Hello, wtih. Thank you so much. And of course, GC Lifestyle. Hello. Charlene, Drum, Sissy. Great premiere this afternoon. You did awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. And again, guys, if you're not subscribing yet to Keeping It Real with Shay, please do subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button, comment, and of course, click the bell after subscribing so you can get notified whenever my next live chat session will be, or when I'm doing a premiere next. So today, I'm actually live on location in Richmond Hill. And I just thought it would be, it'll be cool to have a mysterious guest for today that I can chat with. And this person, I recently met actually, and we share the same kind of, I guess you can say, talent. He's well known actually, and it's funny because I know a lot of you are probably like, oh my gosh, I wonder who it is. I just thought it would be cool to kind of not reveal who I'd be chatting with tonight. So let me think. So he's a he. There's one hint. And he's been he's known in the Filipino community very well. I have yet to work with him, but definitely something in the works. And so today it's our first time collaborating and really just chit-chatting, So today is very casual. We're just going to chit-chat about what's going on, with everything happening. As you all know, I think most of Ontario is in phase 3, and it seems to be going well. So I want to talk to him about how that's affected him and affected, his gigs. And of course, I'm sure that he has another life besides the talent that he does share with the community. And as well, I know that he is into collecting. So we're going to figure out, or find out actually, who this person is, first of all. Second of all, I'm just so excited because it's exciting, right? It's exciting to have somebody fresh and new for me. So I am going to now announce who this person is. He is got so much knowledge about everything. He's very resourceful. He's funny. He's, I can kind of see he could kind of be a guy version of me in a way. But you guys can be the judge of that. So I'm going to welcome my mysterious guest, Mr. Jason Castro. Woo! I wish I had the automatic clapping. So, Jason, do you go by Jay, Jason, the J-Man, Castro? Like, what do you want to be called?
Yeah, just Jason. I don't really have a nickname.
A nickname? Okay, yeah, so we'll go with Jason. So, Jason, thank you for, of course, joining me on my live chat session today on Keeping It Real with Shay. So, have you been watching any of my, vlogs?
Yeah, of course. I saw the trip that you guys took, I believe in Montreal for your birthday, right?
Yes.
Right. And recently your interview with the quartet.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I liked about it is, and what we've communicated with each other is, you're very natural. You're authentic. So yeah, we can connect in that way, where we try to capture a viewership and we try to do our best to provide some quality content.
Very, very true. Just good to see so we can see you better.
Sure.
So what was I going to say? So, this is the first time we're actually doing anything live or pretty much anything together. We've never co-hosted before.
Yeah.
We met at your daughter's debut.
Yep.
Very briefly because you were busy.
Yeah.
But we kind of know about each other through other people.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. Yeah.
Right. So that's a funny thing. And as I said earlier, you're kind of like almost a guy version of me. You're loud, like to talk.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you just tell our viewers who you are in the community? Like, what do you represent in the Filipino community, and why everybody knows who Jason Castro is?
Wow, you're so gracious. I'm actually embarrassed that you introduced me that way.
Oh my gosh, don't be.
I've been in emceeing for about 20 years, right? And when I say 20 years, that's like professionally, because I started when I was 18 years old.
Oh, wow.
And, typical Filipinos, they love to party. They throw a party for any event. And, I was emceeing pro bono.
Oh, wow.
For free for 3-4 years, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't even know you could make it a side gig. You know what I mean? Until I was discovered at church, Tolitz. I hope you see this.
You know what? He's probably going to come on a little later.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, right. We should try and get him. Well, we'll figure that out.
Yeah,
so we'll get him on for sure.
That's my my big bro. I look up to him in terms of the industry, and then from there it just evolved. I mean, I went from an 18-year-old doing this for free. And then he just presented an idea to me, okay, along with his partner at the time, Norman. And then from there, I started doing it for fun. I mean, it wasn't serious, right? I'm just, okay, I got a mic, I'm going to talk, I'm going to joke around, whatever. It was nothing serious. And then things just evolved from there. Dolitz, what I love about him is he wanted to take it to the next level. And I have to admit, if it wasn't for him or Norman, I wouldn't have the networks I have now.
Wow.
Right. So I owe all of that to them. And I started honing my skills in church, like, church events, right?
Yeah.
Youth rallies or sporting events.
Awesome.
Because as you know, I mean, for me, public speaking is difficult, right?
Yeah.
If you don't do it often enough, I'm terrified. So.
I mean, I think in terms of public speaking, it's and I think people kind of don't see it as a talent or an art, honestly, right? But when you think about it, being a host, you're the backbone of that event. When you think about it, like it all roots from how well you do. I mean, that's how I see it. When it comes to public speaking, though, I think if you're a talker,
Mm-hmm.
it comes naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like ever since I was younger, just like you, I was hosting Filipino Association dinner dances when I was like 16 years old.
Yeah.
Right. So, but it was very what do you call it? It was very basic, like, you know,
Casual.
yeah, like raffles or
Right.
like you know, the buffet tables, like calling out the tables,
Yeah, that's
or
funny.
they're, you know,
I still do that till this day.
do you? To like, you know, to like, I don't know, to very basic. And just like you, I started pro bono too,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't know that you can actually get paid to host, right? And like, who knew?
Who knew?
That
Who knew?
there's actually people that do this as a profession?
Right. Yeah.
So, did you go to school for like mass? Like, did you do communication, broadcasting? You
Yeah.
know, did you?
Yeah. So, you know, when I was hosting for, I think it was my third year now, third or fourth year. I'm around 22 years old, and I wanted to take it to the next level because, as you know, there's a difference between being the joker in the room
Mm-hmm.
versus entertaining hundreds, if not thousands, of people.
Yes.
So I had to hone my skills, and I went to the National Institute of Broadcasting,
Awesome.
and they taught you tone, when to use a certain tone, emphasis of words, right? So I got a certificate in that so that I can be more legitimate.
Wow.
Because, you know, in society nowadays, unless you have a paper, and I'm just starting, no one knows me at that time, it's just family and friends. So to have that legitimate professional designation,
Mm-hmm.
I went out to get my certificate so that I can say to these people that no one knows me, but I have this certificate.
Right.
And I've actually learned this professionally.
Wow.
So, you know, when you get something like that, obviously you're more respected and then people will start listening to you.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first started, I like it, well, like what you said, I mean, to earn money, I'm like, I'm not even, I mean, I'm just myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you have that certificate, and you have good friends around you, then you start building that network. So I did go to school
That's
to be
neat.
more respected.
That's neat. So
Yeah.
outside of the Filipino community, because you know, we know that, you know, we do a lot of I do a lot of Filipino events, and
Mhm.
you do a lot of Filipino events, like
Mhm.
gatherings and whatnot, and
Yeah.
you do some festivals as well. Is there any other events outside of you know, our like the Filipino community that you do host?
Mhm.
And when it comes to corporate, do you see, is there a change, is there like a difference? Because I know I've done a few
Yeah.
that were outside of our community,
Yeah.
and it's like it's a totally different ball game because it's a totally
yeah.
different market, right? So you kind of have to adjust yourself to be in character, really. And that's why I say it's an art. It's an art to be a host.
Mhm.
But even the tone, you were saying tone and
Mhm.
volume, right? Because for me, being a host of festivals, I tend to be so loud, right?
Well, you gotta jack up your energy,
Yeah.
right?
So then when I went to do I hosted a benefit for the Scarborough General Hospital.
Yeah.
It was like it was scripted, number one. So that already I had to get used to.
Yeah.
And then secondly, my voice had to be, of course, calmer and
Mhm.
not so loud.
Mhm.
But then when I was on stage, I had like the earpiece in my ear. So they were saying, okay, Shay, you need to be louder. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be too loud,
Yeah.
right? So I think you know, I want to know your experience when it comes to corporate, because I know you had mentioned to me before that you've done a lot of corporate.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like what you said. It's an art form just because you have to adjust to the event
Mhm.
and you have to adjust to the crowd. So for example, like yourself, I would do hospital Christmas parties.
Yeah.
And they're more multicultural, obviously,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I would have to, or what I would do to make it scientific is I would come an hour early. And people didn't understand. I said, "You're just sitting there, man." But they don't understand that when I'm sitting in that chair, I'm actually doing mental observations.
Mm.
of who the people I'm dealing with,
Right.
the age group, the personalities, who is possibly more outgoing in that group, right? So then I would start, mapping out what type of jokes I would say. But when I say map out, it doesn't mean that it's scripted. When you said it's scripted, I don't like the S word,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
when it's scripted, it holds you back from that natural.
It does. And you know what? It's hard. I find it's not hard, but I find that it's you're right. Like it's so hard to ad lib. Like I'm an ad lib kind of person.
Exactly.
Like I'm kind of like, okay, I'll go with the flow, give me the flow, and then I'll just do my thing.
Yeah.
But when you give me a script,
yeah.
You can tell, like when you give me a script, I'm like nervous. I start to like, kind of, oh my gosh, like how am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to adjust? Yeah. Right. So it's always good, like you said, to come an hour early and then kind of scan your market as one. Yeah. But once you're given a script, like have you ever done like, have you ever hosted an event where it was scripted?
Yeah. So when I did Taste of Manila last year, it's scripted to a certain point where you announce their biographies.
Oh yes,
right? Yes. The band, the solo artist, etc. People nowadays they know me that I don't need a script, but I mean you have to be professional. No matter what event you do, there has to be a format.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean it's scripted. Okay, there's a difference. Format is I'm doing this segment, then this segment, then this segment.
Yes.
Scripted is word for word.
Yes.
I can't stand it. I actually host worse.
Yeah.
Or
you know what?
Way worse because you're in a controlled environment.
Yeah.
And when you have a script, it's like, oh man, I missed that line. So now you're like scrambling, and now people can see you're thinking.
Yes.
Right. Yes. And then you're not natural.
It's true. You know what? It's true. It's when it comes to scripts, and I know we're going to sidetrack just a little bit, but when it comes to scripted, I think, like I always think, how do the people on TV do it? Right? They have a teleprompter. It's so natural to them, and that's, I think if that was something, if there was one thing I would want to hone as a skill, it would be to script host.
Yeah.
to
okay.
host with a script.
Yeah.
Just because I guess it depends again on your events and stuff, but with bios, yes, with bios for festivals, those are scripted. But even that, I sometimes summarize. Like I like just take out the most important 100%, parts. Yeah. But yeah, do they touch on that when you went to school? Did they touch on script and hosting script with teleprompters, or is there like a course for that?
So the course that I took focused really on radio and TV personality.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I did that, and then acting. When we talk about like movies, it has to be scripted. But if you watch all of these biographies, the greatest actors and actresses, you have yes, you do have a script.
Yes.
But in their best moments in acting, they didn't read it verbatim. For example, Will Smith was in the car in like Men in Black, and he was talking to this girl. I can't remember the girl, but he had the script, but he went off of it. And same thing with there's another, I think it's Brad Pitt. They go off of the script, but it's still in line.
Yeah.
So my skills I developed in broadcasting just for the tone.
Yes.
And just to adjust my tone, right? But in terms of what we do emceeing, I mean for us, because I know how we are, when you're in your natural element and you're picking out certain scenarios and you're joking about that, it's natural and it's personable because guess what? I took you out of that situation and I did a personal joke. Not necessarily derogatory, but when it's spur of the moment, that person has skill.
Yes.
Okay, but I'm not saying people that need scripts aren't skilled. Yeah. That's a different skill set, right? And that's more of if you're a TV sitcom or if you're doing the news, it has to be definitely scripted.
Yeah.
But what I love about emceeing, and when we MC, you're free.
It's true.
You're free.
You are free, yeah.
But it also comes with what are you doing? Because like what we just touched base a couple minutes ago, if you're doing a debut,
Yeah.
you're not going to talk about the 1950s or the 1940s. They're all about social media. I'm going to make a joke about Facebook, Instagram,
Yes.
Snapchat, right?
Yes.
But if you're doing a 50th anniversary, I'm not going to come in there and talk about a joke about Facebook, how many
Or
likes you have,
TikTok.
or TikTok. They're like, what is TikTok? They don't know what that is, right? So,
Yeah.
right. So, yeah, I don't like the S word. Bottom line.
Yeah, you know what? It's now with festivals actually they're getting very organized in a sense where it's like, they're giving you, okay, here's Shay,
Mhm.
and I'm always like, what is this?
Mhm.
A script?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, Shay, you don't have to follow it. It's just like a guideline. I'm
Right.
like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've both been in the game for a very long time.
Yeah.
And, I think I'm at that point actually where I'm like, okay, I don't know if if not that I want, like, if not that I don't want to, because I love, hosting,
Mhm.
especially events like
Mhm.
Filipino events, because
Mhm.
it's nice to see different nationalities and just like everybody coming together, and
Mhm.
of course learning about our culture.
Mhm.
I think it's so important, and it's so sad that this year everything's gone virtual.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's still so nice to see that these organizations are, uniting and coming together and doing these virtual events, because it's not easy.
No.
Like, it's not easy compiling videos of performers and then just putting it all together. Like, it doesn't work. I mean, it doesn't work. It's a lot of work. Sorry. So with that said, and 2020 was supposed to be that big year for weddings, big year for parties, milestone birthdays, milestone events.
Yeah.
How has the pandemic affected that part of your, I guess, not career, but that part of your life? Because really, hosting is a part of our lives. So how has that impacted you? Because I'm pretty sure you're always booked a year in advance, or you're booked like, of course, well in advance. So how has that affected you, and what does the rest of 2020 look like for you?
Oh, wow. I mean, that's a great question. When COVID first started, I mean, it's not that I'm not sympathetic, right? But I believe in February it became kind of real because they were discussing at work. Whatever, man.
Yeah.
Just
February.
another. We're just gonna fly by, whatever.
Yes. Yes.
Then it really hit home when my work sent us home.
Wow.
Right. And then when they sent us home, I was watching an NBA game, and then they stopped it.
Yes,
And I was
remember
like,
that actually.
man, I just got cable and you stopped the NBA. So, not only is it COVID, but I'm pissed now because there's no NBA. So it got real extremely fast when I didn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
And then in the first phase, I mean, we're human beings. To be locked down, I mean, just to be, especially coming from people like us where we like to socialize and we like to go out and
Oh
we
my
like to
gosh,
whatever.
yes. It's tough.
Oh.
It's really tough.
I'll be honest with you. The first 2 months was extremely depressing.
Yes.
Because you're working at home and then you got to stay at home.
Yeah.
Right. But back to your original question, in terms of the gigs, and don't get me wrong, I love people that give me gigs and they refer me, and I'm living my dream. But as you said, it gets to the point where sometimes when you get gigs weekend after weekend after weekend after weekend, you need a refresher, or you need to recharge.
You need to reboot.
You need to reboot, right? Because
agreed.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a family man too, and I have responsibilities outside of emceeing. But
of course,
as you know, like most gigs are Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday.
Yes.
And people don't understand. Well, dude, you still have a life. I mean, you still have Friday during the day or Saturday during the day. But what they don't understand is like you're prepping before the event.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
Right? Whether it's mentally or physically. So what COVID did for me is it was bad, but I realized it was also good.
Yes.
It's bad because I miss my friends in the industry, and I miss entertaining people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think for the last 2 or 3 years, I said to myself, I have to slow down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just because I think it's like an athlete or anyone that has a passion, if your passion starts to go down a little bit, then you need to step back. You need to reanalyze yourself, or you need time to miss it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
True.
you know, they say 21 days changes a habit, but 5 months changes a person totally.
Yes, that's actually true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about all you guys, but I was changed in like 5 months of doing this. So from a gig perspective, from emceeing, all of the stuff got either canceled or they got rescheduled for the fall. But I don't know even if the fall ones are going to continue.
Okay.
But, you know, they say that absence makes the heart grow fonder. So I think the bottom line is we can scratch 2020. I don't think there's going to be any events. So that will make me miss it even more.
And then you're all good to go for 2021.
Right. And I'm excited about 2021.
Yes.
As you know,
which we'll touch on later.
Right. Right. Just
things to come.
Yeah. What about you though? Like, I mean, how has it affected you?
I think the pandemic, I didn't really feel. Because I was working.
Okay.
But
Frontliner.
in terms of gigs though, I last summer was busy for me, and I get what you were saying. Every weekend, it's always weekends, right? And the summer, June, July, August, or even June, July, is always busy for me. Like every weekend I'll have
wedding season.
Yeah, weddings, or it's all festivals for me.
Yeah.
Right. And I did you'll do a wedding here and there. But I also have JDL Performing Arts, of course. Hello.
Yeah.
To my students, of course, who will probably watch this later. But so I also have them, and they're usually busy performing at these festivals too, right? So to not have weekends booked is good too. I mean, yes, it has, we took a break. We kind of, there's more to do. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is what summer feels like. Right?
Exactly.
Because last summer, I was just every Saturday, Sunday, it was like an event or something going on, right? So it's good to it was good to just have that. But in terms of the pandemic and hitting like this year is totally a write-off.
Yeah, 100%,
it is totally a write-off. It's I mean, yes, it has its advantages and disadvantages, of course. We all were able to probably connect with our households a little better, right? Our families or our kids. But like I said, being a frontliner it didn't really affect me. In terms of being locked down. I think the only thing is going to work and come back home and not being able to go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And just making sure that if you're going to go grocery shopping, make sure that you're very careful. Right? So I know that things are lifting slowly, and we're just bracing for that next wave to come. Let's hope not. So Toronto, let's be diligent and do our part so that we can move on.
Right? We gotta move on.
Yeah, because you know what? It's I feel like I'm over it, and I think everybody else is over it.
Yeah, I think people are ready to move on, and it's just a weird dynamic when I watched the movie Contagion, and it became #1 on Netflix because
we actually watched it as well.
So for that to come to life now, and you can't even go to the mall. I mean, it's mandatory now. You can't go to the mall. You can't go to a gas station. You can't go to a grocery store
without a mask.
Yeah. Right. And it's still weird to me. I don't know if someone's gonna rob the place or it's just COVID related, right? So
it's so weird now.
Extremely.
And we keep hearing it's the new normal. Yes, it is the new normal, but I mean, it does take a lot of getting used to always be wearing a mask. Like even just to get my nails done or even my hair done, like we have to wear a mask. And of course it's for me wearing a mask all day and then having to wear a mask outside, and then I think
It will
honestly
drive
I
you
think it's
insane. Like,
the only time I don't wear a mask is when I'm sleeping.
right?
But I might as well.
Yeah, you might as well. I mean,
Right.
wear a spacesuit or something, right?
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
In terms of we'll kind of leave the hosting just a little bit.
sure.
I want to talk about other hobbies. So
Yeah.
give me kind of uh you know a glimpse, not a glimpse, but kind of tell me who you are in terms of your hobbies and what what not what your interests
Mm-hmm.
and what your passion is, other than of course entertaining people,
Mm-hmm.
because I know that you have such an interesting hobby, and
Yeah.
one that just that it takes a lot of time and I'm sure money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what is it that you do, and like how did you get interested in this hobby of yours? If you want to tell everybody what it is exactly,
Sure. Sure.
that you do, because it's interesting.
Yeah. That's a great question. Just because I have an inner circle that knows about my collection of stuff, but not the general public. As you know, I don't really post a lot on Facebook
Yeah.
and Instagram, whatever. The funny thing is, I'm social, but I'm antisocial online. It's so weird. So I'm bipolar, by the way. So
Well, you can generalize it if you want, so you don't give it away.
oh no, I'm not shy. Yeah.
But it's always good because not a lot of people, when we go out there in the public or at events,
Mhm.
people just know us as Shay. Oh, she hosts, or she's known for JDL, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And that's pretty much what they know about me.
Yeah.
And for you, they know you as Jay. He hosts a lot of events.
Yeah.
He's one of the best of the best in our community,
so
of course.
embarrassing
And
right now.
probably, I mean, if you've been told, like I've been told, oh my gosh, have you met Jason Castro? If someone tells me about somebody, then it's obviously somebody that's well respected, right? So
Appreciate that.
in that sense, of course, people want to know, okay, well, behind that mic,
Yeah.
right, and the suit,
Mm.
who are you? Like, there must be other things that interest you,
Yeah.
right?
It's definitely a valid question. So what you're touching base on, and Goody saw this too. I showed him some pictures back in the day. I love to collect movie memorabilia.
Awesome.
And as a kid, I'm a normal kid. I like to. It started with 3-inch, then 6-inch figures. I would watch the cartoons, and I was subjected to a collection that my parents was willing to buy me.
Oh wow.
I don't have money. Like
Mhm.
I'm broke. I'm a typical kid. In high school, same thing. And then one day it was in Markham, and it's called Toy Square.
Mm.
And this guy's shop was like off the charts, meaning this is not a Walmart toy, right? It's as real as you can get. It's like a 1/6 figure or 1/6 object of reality.
Wow.
So the thing that caught my eye was like, if you guys watch Dark Knight, the Batmobile.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, how much is that? Like that Batmobile? It's like this big, right? And I had $50 in my wallet at the time. I didn't have a lot of money. I'm like, dude, how much is that?
Yeah.
And he had a Chinese accent. Oh, that one? That's 1,000. I'm like, what? What do you mean 1,000?
$1,000.
So I had to verify. I'm like, is that 1,000 pesos? Or is I only have like $50, man. Like,
but you know what? It could be because it's like from a movie.
So the thing is, I have some stuff that are like movie use props, right? But the majority of my stuff are replicas. I mean, you have to be a billionaire to be buying these movie use stuff.
Yeah.
So it changed my life from there, and I bought figures 1/6 scale, and then another life-changing thing for me in terms of my hobby was when someone went to my home and they stood beside a 1/6 scale Iron Man. I'm like, that doesn't look right. Because when you go to a museum, you're posing in front of huge stuff.
Yeah, like those wax museum statues.
Exactly.
Are like life size.
Exactly. So I was like, you know what? This picture doesn't look right because you're huge and the toy is small. So I said to myself, go big or go home. So and that's literally. So I think maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I started buying like life-size statues of my childhood heroes.
Oh my gosh. And
So-
I did see a glimpse of it. And I actually thought that's where we were gonna shoot today.
Yeah. Maybe the next episode or in the future.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that actually. But I know I was telling Goody, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like if I were to sit there, I literally would feel like everybody was watching me.
Yeah.
They're like life size.
Yeah.
But how do you even like find these things?
So again, it's not like I have the money to spend, 20, 30,000 for a statue, right? So some of them are expensive, but you have to be creative.
Yeah.
So just like anything else, I did my research, I did some networking, and I know guys that taught me how to make these statues.
Okay.
So I would get a mannequin, and then there would be a head sculpt. Let's say, for example, Christopher Reeve Superman.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Superman of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a guy that would paint the head.
Mm-hmm.
Then some of them is my own clothes. I would put on Clark Kent.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I would have to chop off the mannequin head and then put on his stuff, and then the painted sculpt. I would put that on top of the life-size Superman.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing with Indiana Jones. I don't like to tell a lot of people how I do it, but at the end of the day, you have to be logical too.
Oh yeah, you gotta be practical.
You have to be practical, right? So
yeah,
I do have a large collection, but some of it is I learned how to make it myself.
That's neat.
Yeah, and as a kid, you always dream of going to Toys R Us and owning every toy, but my parents was strict. I mean, even though we were comfortable, they didn't believe in buying me to them crap. Well, like, come on, man! Like, why do you need that?
I think with parents, it's kind of like you're gonna buy all these things. It's gonna be stocked in my house, and eventually you're gonna grow out of it. Yeah. And it's just gonna. What do you do with it, right? Yeah. So that's probably why. But I mean, so these collectibles that you have. And just for everybody that's watching, I am live here at Jason's condo. Yeah. So we're here live today. So thank you for actually Keeping It Real with Shay.
Yeah, thank you.
Here. Yeah. But he does have, some neat things. Like I've never actually seen a collection such as this before. But that's pretty cool. Like it's a good I sometimes I wish I had some sort of hobby in terms of collecting, right? But I don't know. I just didn't really find it. I think I was more into like the art stuff, right? In terms of hobbies, but that's neat. That's actually a good thing to have because it's as you get older, you can kind of maybe have. If you have a house one day, you can have like a room just set up for all of your stuff. I know right now you said it's elsewhere at a different location.
Yeah, secret location.
Secret location. But that's quite a collection. Like when you said, okay, we can do it here, maybe I was like, wow. What are all those things? Yeah. So that's good. So you like to collect movie memorabilia. Anything
movie related, sports related, because as human beings, we're all human. It's an escapage, right?
Yeah. So it's an outlet.
It's an outlet. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I grew up in the 80s, I mean, I have a ET statue, and the reason why I have ET is because it's sentimental to me. Yes. I mean, it was one of my favorite movies of all time, and
I think it was all of ours.
right? I mean, who hasn't watched
Who
ET?
hasn't watched ET?
Yeah.
Well, you better watch ET.
yeah. Watch it. Get the DVD, Blu-ray, whatever.
Is it on Netflix?
I no, not yet.
Oh, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. But they made a 25th anniversary edition.
I did see that.
Yeah, with the live orchestra and whatever.
Oh, neat.
So movies and hobbies such as my toys and my statues, and I have sports memorabilia. It's an outlet when I'm stressed out, and everyone's taking care of my bills, etc. I'm like, you know what? I don't really drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I don't gamble. So what am I gonna do to have fun?
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So I would buy this stuff, and it makes me happy. And a lot of the times, this stuff actually increases in value. So
So that's good then, because then
yeah.
you can kind of have your I'm just gonna
too many collections.
Yeah. Who
Yeah.
said that? Cheesy lifestyle.
Is that Goody?
It's Goody.
I mean, shout out to Goody too. He's a good friend, and he's helped me out as well. He's promoted me, and he's an amazing videographer. So I've always been blessed getting to know the right people.
Shout out.
Shout out to Goody.
To Goody.
The millionaire over there, so humble.
Juicy lifestyle.
Right?
We also have Ajinomoto TV. Hello, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey.
Or tonight. Thank you. And yeah, of course.
Nosebleed. So I have to speak in Tagalog?
I don't know.
Ano
Should
ba
we
yan?
try?
Sino yun? Yeah. Sorry.
So I think that's going to be another live, actually. We should do like Tagalog 101.
We should try to do that, and then we'll have the
should.
nosebleed. Holy cow.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry po. Sorry.
Oh, we have another one, Sherilyn A.N.
Okay,
hello.
yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
What does Tam Shack mean?
I think it means thumbs up. So they've given us a thumbs up.
Okay. Cool, man.
Yes. So thumbs up.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna write here, guys. So if of course you have yet to subscribe, please subscribe to Keeping It Real with Shay. Hit that thumbs up button and comment, and of course subscribe and click the bell on your way to my next vlog if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
But it's actually been so great actually tonight's live chat. I really like this. I mean, this is something new that I'm just kind of trying out. But I like it. I like that we're able to do this. And I know that we touched a little bit about us hosting and this being our first kind of collab. Just want to get you in the frame there. But for those of you watching or those of you that will probably watch this later on to figure out who was my guest today, because I know there's so much things going on actually tonight. Yeah. So I was hoping that we wouldn't have anybody kind of in competition with in terms of them having a show or a concert, but there's like a virtual, concert going on right now, and then there's a lot of things going on tonight. But in any case, for those of you who are going to tune in later, again, it's Jason Castro, and I know that a lot of you who are mutual friends of mine or mutual friends of ours, this will probably come as a surprise to all of you. So surprise,
yeah.
I would love to co-host with you at some point for an event.
Most definitely, yeah.
Right. But
not only that, though.
Not only that, yeah. So guys, stay tuned because there's a lot of things to come from this collab right here. Yeah. This was our very first time actually just kind of, just chatting.
Yeah.
Publicly together. So I'm sure a lot of people are like, what? How did that happen?
I know.
But it's great. It's always good to meet other hosts
Of
or
course.
like people that are known in the community, of course, because we all share the same passion.
Of course. Yeah.
So I know we still have about 15 minutes left. So I do want to touch a little bit on things to come.
Yeah, sure.
But not give too much, right? I think, we're both at that point in our hosting careers.
Yeah.
That, what's the next step, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I think actors go through that. Like, they're always like, oh my gosh, I think it's time to retire. Dancers go through that. Like, I've been dancing all my life since I was 3 years old, and I've retired.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, you're multi-talented, right?
I actually retired dancing. Everybody. But if you guys want a hula performance anytime soon, just joking. No, now I give back to, of course, the kids, as if as much as what do you call this? As much as I can. It's always good to give back your talents, of course, right? Yeah. So with that said, what is next to come? I mean, what can we say to our viewers now and our viewers later on? And of course, this is going to be posted. Right. So, yeah. What's next for Jason Castro?
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about this for the last 2 or 3 years. Like what you said, what is the next chapter? What is the next phase?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, right?
Because we won't give out too much info.
Yeah, we don't want to give out too much information, but I think we live in an era where people desire empowerment, right?
Yes. Yes.
And the beautiful thing about internet and online services, etc., we can connect with so many people and we can empower a lot of people.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, there's only so much emceeing we can do, dancing.
Yes.
We're getting old. That's a gift. We look young, but we're old, man. I mean, so the next phase of what we're trying to do or try to introduce, we're aiming at 2021. And definitely there would be a lot of empowerment that's included in that. So we want to empower people and we want our legacies to live on.
Yes.
Beyond the grave, right? So how are we going to do that? When we eventually retire from emceeing, you guys got to continue.
You guys have to stay tuned because there's so much exciting things happening.
Yeah.
Jason and I have decided to collab in a way.
Yeah.
So there'll be a little bit of a collab here. Yeah. But stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned because it's definitely going to be empowering. Yeah. And just exciting. We are so excited of things to come. And I know that whoever's going to watch this later on will probably think, what is it? What is going to happen? Right?
I'm hoping they're asking those questions. I mean, Goody wants a free.
Goody wants an antique collect. He wants you to give away an antique collection. So a collectible.
I should ask him for.
He wants a giveaway.
In exchange for one of his luxury cars. Right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, but I think there's always a time where you can share your talents with other people.
100%. Yeah.
And it's that time, like we live, like Jay was saying, we live in the times where empowering people and lifting people up and a lot of education about certain things is good, right? Nowadays, people go to social media. Yeah. People go to YouTube for everything.
Everything, right? Yeah.
And I think, like, it's funny because a lot of surgeons were saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm always on YouTube and I'm watching this and that." I'm like, "You watch YouTube? Wow. Yeah. Can you subscribe to my channel?" Yeah. Right. And I think a lot of people during this pandemic, everybody has found either a new hobby a new interest, or maybe just kind of strengthen their already existing interests, right? But not to go out of line with what I was trying to say in terms of what's next to come. But yeah, you don't, just because you're at that point where it's like, okay, what's next for us? It doesn't mean you got to stop your passion. Okay?
100%. Yeah.
There are so many ways to share your passion with everybody. Okay. And it's always a good way to, of course, join forces.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with joining forces. It's actually a very good thing.
It is. Yeah.
If you're, I have some strengths and you have strengths, weaknesses, like there's always that balance, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a good partnership.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
it's exciting.
You made a good point because, it's not just with emceeing, it's the industry itself.
Oh, yes.
I mean, there's a lot of competition and, there's teams that dissolve because of the competition.
Yes.
And I hope that the adventure we're going to go through will, inspire people to be like, you know what, man, we do the same thing, but at the same time, we can also complement each other, and we can prove that teams actually work and they actually matter, because at the end of the day, we have millions of people in Ontario and all over the world.
Yes.
There's enough business for everybody, right?
Yes.
So, I know we're limited with time, but one thing I wanted to say was, from day one when I started, I never came into the industry to compete. The only person I was competing against was myself. I always wanted to be the best myself.
Yes.
Right? And there are people that I looked up to, but I never took it as a competition, right? I can shout out a lot of MCs here, but I'm competing against you. No, I'm just kidding. But
you know what, though?
I'm just kidding.
I know, but I think it's the industry that we're in.
100%.
Okay?
Yeah.
In terms of, it's just how it is.
It
right?
is. Yeah.
It's like
how do we put this lightly?
Yeah, I don't even know how to we're not competing. I mean, it would be like, Jay and I competing.
Yeah. No,
I mean, I you'll hear things like that.
Yeah.
But it's actually, we should be lifting each other up.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. And we're actually a group in itself. Where a group of us MCs, and actually that should be a thing. We should have like a group.
Really? No, I'm just kidding.
We should be in a pool, right? No, I mean, now I'd rather give opportunities for up and coming.
Yes.
New hosts.
For sure, the new blood.
Yes,
the new blood.
Aspiring hosts.
Yeah.
Right. So we've already given a lot of tidbits.
Yeah.
So exactly. I hope you guys continue to stay tuned, because in the next couple sessions, live sessions with Keeping It Real with Shay, of course, we'll be dropping hints like crazy.
A travel agency.
So Goody's saying, if this is a travel agency, I am so in. Free travel.
For a rich guy, Goody, you like a lot of free stuff, eh? Like, come on, man.
While we're actually
Shay doesn't need donations either, man. Like, come on.
I do need donations. While we're actually we still have a few minutes left, I do want to thank my apparel sponsor, cGartist.
Yeah.
For my Toronto shirt, guys, it's new.
Hey.
New design. So of course, as you all know, I'll always be styled by cGartist.
Yep.
Right.
One and only, yeah.
And
they make great face masks too. So
we do, yes, or they do, yes.
We got a couple, yeah. We got a couple of them.
Yeah. So thank you, and if you guys aren't following cGartist already on Instagram, follow us at c.gartist on Instagram, and our website is cgartist.ca. I think. Yeah, .ca. And yeah, this is of course one of their newest designs. As you will see, I will be sporting every new cGartist apparel design.
Yeah, I don't
for my
blame you.
live chat sessions. So Jay, you know, this has been great. Thank you
Fantastic.
so much.
Thank
I
you.
hope you had fun.
I had a great time. Yeah.
I mean,
More to come?
Yeah, I really love doing these live chat sessions, and I can't wait till we can co-host one of our very own actual show.
Oh, soon.
I think we have so much. I mean, you know, meeting Jason for the first time was at the debut, like I said, and we kind of talked briefly about stuff.
Yeah.
And I think we even said, oh my God, we should collab one day, or we should co-host an event one day. Actually, that would be really cool too, to co-host with you.
I believe in somewhat destiny, right? I mean, it's funny how things have evolved fast.
Yes.
And I like working people that have the same amount of passion.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm not lying, or I'm not trying to hype up something that can't be done. So I really hope that, you know, our friends, our viewership, you know, continue to watch, because there's going to be a lot of updates.
Yes.
And
I'm so excited.
Right? I mean, Shay's always excited. So yeah. So look out for it. I guarantee you this is going to be something special, and it's our way of giving back.
Yes. And don't forget, if you're not subscribing yet, subscribe to Keeping It Real with Shay. Hit that thumbs up button, comment, subscribe, and click that bell so you can be notified for every single live chat session I have, so you could be up to date with what's coming up next with this tandem.
Exciting.
So I also want to, we have 6 more. Our director's saying we got to hurry up.
Goody, the rich guy, the director, right?
I want to thank, of course, all of our viewers today, and all of our viewers later on and for days to come.
Yeah.
But keep it locked in here on Keeping It Real with Shay, because I will have future guests coming up soon on my live chat session. And of course, we'll have Jason Castro once again, back again.
Can't wait.
Because, you know, when we're ready to drop this big thing, he's going to be here with me, or well, I don't know if we're going to be here, but maybe Jay, we can go to the secret location.
You know what? Definitely. I think that would be very exciting, and it'll be creepy in the beginning, but you'll get this.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to have all those eyes looking at me while I'm talking.
Well, we're entertainers, right?
Yes, we are. But I do want to, of course, thank you so much for, you know, for supporting, of course, keeping it real with Shay.
Always.
I'm so excited that I can't even talk straight. And of course, for agreeing to speak publicly.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
And you know, of course, you know, I want to thank Goody for always supporting my craziness and my hyperness.
Right.
He's always like, yeah, go for it. Just talk.
Goody's a go-getter.
And you know, to everybody, all of the viewers, tonight on Keeping It Real with Shay. I know Charlene Drums was in and out, but thank you so much, Sissy, for always supporting my live chat sessions. I hope you continue to do so. And I know I have wtih Franco. Thank you so much for being the first viewer tonight. And of course, we had Aji Nomoto TV.
Tamsak.
And we had Sherilyn AN. You know what, Sherilyn? We have almost the same name. So yeah, my real name is Sherilyn. For all those who don't know.
I thought it was Tamsak. Stay home, she said.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So and of course, GC Lifestyle. Goody can buy.
Right. Fashion,
always. Thank you for supporting my craziness always.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're down to the last 2 minutes. Jay, is there anything you want to say?
I just wanted to say that I want to thank everyone that's doing the virtual stuff. You know, you're still touching lives, even if it's through the computer. I admire the effort, and I know that all of us will make it through. I mean, the world has changed, but at the same time, we can make it even better than it was before.
Yes.
So everyone hang in there. I mean, we're all in this together. And to all the MCs out there, and you know, if you're in the entertainment industry, you'll go through roller coasters, you'll go ups, you'll have your ups and downs, but hang in there. We're there for you to support you as well. We're not here to compete or whatever. That's why we're gonna do this transition phase in 2021.
Yes.
Another plug again.
Woo!
Right? So
get ready for that, guys. Get ready because we can all work together.
We can all work together peacefully. So God bless everybody and stay safe.
Okay, Jay. I want you.
And the next show.
I want you to end the show with what we know you as. There's always one thing that every MC does for every event.
Okay.
So I want you to wrap up Keeping It Real with Shay with what you do best. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Let's get ready to rumble!
All right, guys. So we'll see you next week, Friday at 8 p.m. here on Keeping It Real with Shay. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, click that bell. Good night. Thank you so much. This is Shay once again for Keeping It Real with Shay. We'll see you next time. Keep it real, guys.